In a small town called Riverton, there lived a little girl named Amira. She was only 7 years old and lived with her parents, Mr. Kellen, and her mother Marissa. Amira was a bright, lovely child with an angelic smile, but sadly, her smile rarely appeared. Her home, which should have been her safe haven, was filled with fear instead of joy. The nightmare began one evening when Amira was in her room, and her father, Mr. Kellen, entered quietly. He told her, "Amira, I want to show you what it means to be a woman, but you must promise never to tell anyone. This is our little secret." At her tender age, Amira had no idea what he meant. She trusted him, for he was her father, and she believed every word he spoke. But what followed was something no child should ever endure. Mr. Kellen forced himself on her. Terrified, she cried out, "Daddy, please stop. It hurts. I'm scared." But he ignored her desperate pleas. All Amira felt was sharp, frightening pain she couldn't understand. Whenever she tried to escape, he always caught her. At just 7 years old, she was already broken and traumatized. You may wonder, where was her mother, Marissa, while all this was happening? Marissa was a busy businesswoman who owned the largest textile shop in the city. She was always at her store, managing customers and counting money. Her focus was on her business, not her home. Meanwhile, Mr. Kellen worked remotely as a web designer, spending most of his time at home. That gave him the opportunity to continue his horrific actions behind closed doors. One evening, Marissa sat at the dining table surrounded by stacks of bills and cash, writing in her ledger. Amira walked up to her timidly and asked, "Mommy, why does Daddy hurt me when you're not here?" Her small voice trembled with fear. But Marissa didn't even glance up. She replied impatiently, "Amira, not now. Can't you see I'm busy? I work so hard for us. Go and do your homework." "But Mom," Amira tried again, clutching the hem of her shirt nervously. Marissa's patience snapped. "I said I'm busy. Stop bringing up silly things when I'm working. Go to your room." Amira swallowed her words, her heart breaking. She wanted to scream, to beg her mother to listen, but she knew it was hopeless. Her mother never paid attention, never cared to notice her pain. With a heavy heart, she turned back to her room, carrying a secret no child should bear. Every time Marissa left for the shop, Kellen would sneak into Amira's room. He threatened her, saying, "If you tell anyone, you will die. Do you want to die?" Terrified, Amira always said no and kept silent. She longed for someone to talk to, someone to comfort her, but she was utterly alone. One night, Amira sat crying on the staircase, her eyes swollen. Summoning her courage once more, she approached her mother. "Mom, can I talk to you?" "It's about Daddy," she whispered, shaking. Marissa didn't even look up from counting her money. "What is it now, Amira? You're always complaining about something." Amira's heart raced as she tried to explain, "It's about what Daddy does when you're not here," but she couldn't get the words out. Marissa snapped, "I don't have time for this nonsense. Your father works hard to care for us, and you're trying to cause trouble. Stop making up stories." "But Mom, please," Amira begged, her tears falling. "Enough," Marissa shouted. "If you're not happy here, then maybe you should go live somewhere else. Stop being so dramatic. You just want attention." Silenced, Amira gave up. No matter how much she cried or begged, her mother never believed her. The one person who was supposed to protect her didn't even see her pain. Over time, Amira withdrew completely, her laughter fading away into silence. The cycle continued for weeks until one day everything changed. Marissa unexpectedly came home early from work. As she reached Amira's room, she froze in horror. There was Mr. Kellen, forcing himself on their little girl. Her world shattered. Screaming, she shoved him away and pulled Amira into her arms. In that moment, she realized the truth her daughter had been trying to tell her all along. The authorities were called, and Kellen was arrested. In his defense, he claimed Marissa was always busy with her business and that he needed companionship. A vile excuse for a monstrous crime. Amira was placed in therapy, where she began the long process of healing. Marisa, filled with guilt, abandoned her business and devoted herself to her daughter, finally understanding that love and presence were worth far more than money. As for Kellen, he was sentenced to life in prison, where he would remain until his final days. I hope you've learned the importance of being a listening parent, a caring parent, and a protective parent. If you haven't subscribed yet, please be part of our growing family. Click the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, so that when I share more stories like this, you'll be the first to hear them. And to all my returning subscribers, hey, thank you so much for always supporting me. If you're still hearing my voice right now, it means you watched till the very end, and for that, you're the real MVP. I appreciate you deeply, and I don't take your support for granted. See you in the next story. Bye bye.